Hello everyone and welcome back to the den for some Blood Bowl news. It is season 8, I think. It's season 8? It's probably season 8 of the Blood Bowl 3 lifespan, and we have a new team. And as you can see here, we have the Amazon team. I know it's not really news, is it? Because the hints were dropped earlier in the week, but I thought I'm not making a video based on one picture. I thought we'd wait until we get some more details, and just life being a bit busy. So let's dive in now. Okay, so first of all, let's check out the team. Let's go to a team first. So the Amazons. For those that are unfamiliar with the Amazons, they are historically a bash team. I don't know if they're a little bit more mid-range or control now. They probably still are bash, but they are different to how they used to be. So what they used to have was dodge all around, which as you can see is still the case now. But they also used to have 4 potential blitzers with block as well. So that's 4 blodge players from the off. So they were very effective and they could really hit the ground running. And they could be pretty brutal. But much like the Norse team, their perhaps one major flaw is their armour. They are very, very fragile. And obviously, you don't want to be coming up against a dwarf team early on because tackle negates that dodge and you're going to get brutalised. However, if you're not playing against dwarves and you get block quickly, which I think all of these have general access, so they can all get block, so they're potentially a team full of blodgers, they can be a frustrating team to play against because even though they've got that tantalising armour 8+ that you just want to smash open, you're not going to be able to do it because block and dodge is going to save them more often than not, which is where you're going to be starting to resort to skills like tackle and wrestle, fouling, and 3-die blocks with higher strength players. So yeah, they are frustrating. Not as frustrating as they used to be though. However, there are some changes that we'll talk through. So let's look at the players first. Let's start with the Piranha Warrior Blitzer. So the Blitzer traditionally was block dodge, I think, with a normal with this normal stat line. Oh no, they were movement. Were they movement 6 or 7? I can't remember, but they were pretty standard. 3 strength, 3 edge, 3+, armor 8+. Fragile, but with block and dodge meant they were pretty useful. They lost dodge. I mean, no, they didn't lose dodge. It's there. They lost block, but they gained jump up, which is always a useful skill to have. Often not one that's a first pick, but if it's baked into the player, you're certainly not going to be disappointed with it. And for a player that's also got going to be getting block probably, it can be useful to block from the ground up. And this new skill, hit and run. So after performing a block action, this player is still standing. If the player is still standing, may immediately move 1 free square, ignoring any tackle zone. After this free move, they must not mark or be marked by an opposition player. So basically, they must be free of tackle zones, but they can bounce a space away from the person that they've just blocked and from the square that they were currently in, which again is really useful for a number of reasons. It can allow you to jump into more difficult positions to be hit. It can block channels. It can put you even clear of enemy lines on the opposite side if you position it well. So it is a really useful skill, and it is also one that a lot of Blood Bowl players are still not 100% familiar with, and I include myself in that. I haven't played as new Amazons yet, but I've played against them a few times, and I often forget that they can do this, and then they pop into an adjacent square and I think, oh, why do they do that? And then I think, oh yes, because they've got hit and run. Okay, so sorry, before we finish, great player, fast. It's going to double up as you probably is a blocker and a catcher. Really, it's going to be a mixture of the two. Fast, fragile, but with skill access that can allow you, with general agility, can allow you to turn it into a scoring threat, but also make it hard to take down. A good player. Then we have the star of the show, and that would be the Jaguar Warrior Blocker. And this woman is hench. She is only movement 6, but she's strength 4. So this is new for Amazons. Well, I say new since their 2020 relaunch. Well, I say 2020. That was the edition of the game. I think it was more like 2022. But they are they're huge for a number of reasons. So they're strength 4 player. If you think about a lot of other strength 4 players, Biggins, Ulf Werner's, Bloodseekers, they are Edge 2+, but she retains her Edge 3+. She also comes with dodge, so this is a strength 4 player who can dodge in and out on a 3+, as long as there's no multiple tackle zones on in the square she's going into. She's also got armor 9+, so she's the highest. She's got the highest armor on the team. On top of that, she has general access, so she can get blocked quickly. So you can have a strength 4 blodger that moves 6 and dodges on a 3+. And one of the best things of all is she's got defensive. So she's a strength 4 player who can cancel opposition guard. So once she's got, block, if you gave her block and guard, she's a real pain in the backside. She doesn't have agility access, but if you gave her stand firm, you can also keep her and keep her deploying her guard and her defensive. And she can be a right old nightmare. I can tell you that, having played against them. So they're a great player. We've got the line women, which I think pretty confident in saying these haven't changed at all since any of the additions of the game. They are your standard. If you look at that, it's a human lineman with 1 less armor, and dodge. Or a Norse lineman with dodge instead of block. A very standard stat line. Useful first skill to have though. Does suffer slightly from, if you base these girls, unlike with elf teams where they can just hop away on a 2+, even without dodge, that feels a little bit more stable to me than rolling a 3+. I think if you look at the odds, you're better off with a 3+ and a reroll. But it doesn't feel like that. It never feels like that. Anyone who's got sure hands on Edge 3+ players knows that dreaded 3+. It's a horrible roll because you always think you should make it, but invariably you don't. So yes, unlike, she's a bit more like some of those Skaven linemen who end up getting based and you chance it trying to move them away. The difference is they do have dodge, so there's going to be more times than not that they do get away when you're trying to disengage from your opposition. And finally, a very different kind of thrower, I think. We have the Python Warrior Thrower. As you can see, she's got a giant snake on her. I assume that's the Python. Exactly the same stat line as a line woman, except with the 3+ passing instead of the 4+. This is always a shame to see on a thrower because you want your throwers to be 2+ passers. I still don't understand why some of them are 3+. But anyway, she's 3+, so she's not a great passer of the ball. However, she does come with dodge. She comes with on the ball, which is a very useful skill. She'll be good at putting herself into places where she can pick up the ball quicker, or even close down or mark a player who's trying to attempt to make a pass against you. So it is a skill I like, and I will pick sometimes on thrower type players. She's got pass, which if you're a passer, you want the pass skill. And she's got safe pass, which essentially means she can't fumble it. It'll just end her activation, but she'll still retain holding the ball. So she's like a half baked thrower, isn't she? Because she hasn't got 2+, she doesn't have accurate. She's okay. I mean, you're doing a 3 square pass on a 3+ with a reroll. It's not great, but it's not horrendous. And then 6 squares is on a 4+. There are a number of things you can do to make her better, though, can't you? You can give her accurate. You can try for a passing increase. She's already got dodge, so if you gave her block, she's going to be another useful ball carrier, and somebody who's going to be harder to take down. So, there's already some skill access there that can make her better. But she's got no sure hand, so she's not picking up the ball better than anyone else. So, yeah, I'm not sure on the thrower. I've played against Amazons reasonably competitively a few times now, and they have not always gone for the thrower, which is interesting to see. But that's it. That's your 4 teams. 4 players, sorry. Let's jump into the Blood Pass now and see what's new there. So for those of you who are thinking of getting it, obviously you can either pay and get the Amazon team straight away, or you can grind those games and get them for free eventually by completing this. But if you do pay for it, you also get these extra bits and bobs. First of all, the Goblin Bruisers on the Black Hawk team get this very nice helmet. I'm not going to go through every one. I'm just going to stop if I see something that I think looks pretty good. Oh, there we go. There's the first Amazon cheerleader zone. I've got bad news if you were expecting a pitch. There are no pitches. What is that? Hectic. I don't actually know what that is. Why that's been... well, it's just like a shadowed picture. I'll come back to that one. There's the ball, which is exactly the same as what you get with the boxed tabletop one. Bits and bobs. Oh, there's a new coach customizable background thing. Oh, nice dice. Might be quite hard to read there with the black dots. And more good bits and extras for the Amazon players. There and there. We've got the staff zone. What's that? Oh, it's a shoulder bit for the Pestigores. And we'll keep moving forward. We've got the coach zone for the Amazons. Very jungly. And we'll keep going. Ooh, Skaven. That looks pretty painful on the old Gutter Runner. And as we get towards the end, we've got Kulchan's Plume. So that's just a line woman who can have the lovely feathered... I mean, she's going to... How would you dodge with that on your back? Come on. That'd be so easy for a player just to grab hold of that and throw him to the floor. So not sure on the practicalities of that. Though it looks very nice. That's pretty cool. Oh, it's Chaos Chosen though, not Chaos Renegades. Although I do run a Minotaur with my Chaos Chosen because I'm an old school person and believes they shouldn't have ogres and rat ogres. Not the rat ogres, trolls. I think you should always run I think it should be mandatory to run a Minotaur in a Chaos Chosen team. Even though others would say not to. Blue feather dice, nice. That's more... I'm not sure on that one. The snake bit's pretty cool. I'm not sure about the golden spiky sun thing. What else have we got as we go towards the end? Oh, we got a coach, but it's not a star player. Althea Ironfang. Well, I say it's not a star player at the moment. It might become one in the future, I suppose. Oh, that's cool. You can see what their reactions are. Is that new? It might not be. Stretching. High kick. Very nice. Anyway. And to finish off, you've got... Oof. Again on the line woman, you've got this whole cobra thing coming out the back of her head, which is spirit animal. Very nice. Okay, so that is your Blood Pass. Let's have a look at what the competitions are. So you've got the ladder. It's pretty much the same as it was. I think it's supposed to show the sprint ranking there. I don't know if we can see that from the screen. Ranking. So you've got general and sprint. There you go. So it will show both now. Obviously there's no one in there at the moment. That would be ridiculous after a few hours. So I think the ladder's pretty much as the same. Does it tell you the rules on the... I thought it did. What's the screen that tells you all the rules? It's usually summary, isn't it? Well, I know for a fact that I think randoms are back on primary at their normal TV level of half price. And I think the TV's gone up to 2,000. So they've gone from trying to... lean away from high TV teams and not reward those coaches going for randoms. They've now seemed to me that they've gone in reverse and they've gone, right, let's go high TV now and let's have people throwing in their random skills. So you will see dwarf blocker linemen trying to pick up their guard mighty blow at 10k. You'll see other players trying to grind out randoms to keep their TV low. So yeah, that's what we've got for this season. We've got the Lustria Arena. Has anything changed with this? The wizard inducement is banned. Any extra star players banned? Doesn't look like it to me, although I didn't play a lot of Arena last time. Tierings may have changed. They might have changed the odd one. I mean, it looks about right. But again, they may have changed bits and bobs there. So that's going to feature relatively similar to the last season. But the new bigger thing is the community event. So this one, I believe you've got 4 teams. And depending on what race you pick, means that you contribute to that colour. And I believe some Blood Bowl streamers and personalities and top coaches have basically put down some preset rosters or something like that. I think Andy Davos is the green one. I know it's the one with the necromantic on. Rules. That would help. Here we go. That's very uninformative, really, isn't it? So defend your tribe's colours by selecting one of the teams from the pre-established templates available. Check out the event quest to earn unique rewards. A legendary customization will be unlocked free of charge at the end of the event for all players who have played for the winning tribe. So really, if you want to unlock that, you need to play for all 4 tribes, don't you? I wonder if you can do it through the register new team. Oh, here we go. Because I haven't made these. So you can pick one that's been built. And so you can see that there's 1 Amazon, 1 Necromantic Horror, and 1... Is that Black Orc? Oh, yeah, it says there. I get it now. And then for the red team, you've got Renegades, Wood Elves, Amazons. Well, Amazons are in every one. The yellow team have got Shambling Undead and Imperial Nobility. And the blues have got Chosen and Lizardmen. Okay, so straight away, I'm looking at this because I've got my Necromantic in that group. Not every team is in this yet, though, so I think they're going to plan to release more teams as they go along. And then I think these teams have been built by the 4 streamers, or the 4 Blood Bowl legends. I don't want to undersell their their abilities and prestige. Yeah, so that's going to be cool. That's something different and a new way to play. There are AI improvements as well. I was somebody who was fortunate to have a go at the base test for the Eternal League. I'm not sure if we're allowed to talk about that yet, so I won't say anything. But I will say there are AI improvements. If you're expecting an AI that's going to give you the same level of challenge as a player, though, that won't happen. I don't think we're there yet. But it is better. It is definitely better. But I think if you're a relatively experienced Blood Bowl player, you're not going to lose, I don't think, against the computer. Even with some filthy dice that they get against you, it's still not too hard at the moment. But I know how difficult it is to code a competent AI in Blood Bowl because of the all the possible outcomes, all of the strategies that you'd have to input into that. It isn't easy, and I don't think there's ever been in any of the Blood Bowl games a really competitive AI. I think, and from my memory of Blood Bowl 2, the harder difficulty you got, the more awful dice you got and the better dice they got. But the ability itself of the computer was never great, because I think it's always hard, and I think the bread and butter for most people is the online. But I also appreciate, as somebody who has limited time, it is easier sometimes to play against the computer because you can pause, walk away, pick it back up again later. So there's definitely a market out there for people who can't dedicate an hour and a half to sit down and play a game of Blood Bowl against a player online. So hopefully that keeps improving. But it's good to see that it has improved since the start of Blood Bowl 3. So that's really positive. Last of all, we'll check the shop. So, that's pretty cool looking Blitzer. A Hellpit Groveler. I've already got a load of extra bits for my Skaven because I am a sucker for Skaven. Yeah, that looks pretty good. But we should have some Amazon specific ones. Oh, it's all of last year's cheerleaders. some very colourful balls. I quite like the flame one. That's pretty good. So we've got a Jaguar Warrior blocker with extra bits. We've got a Piranha Warrior Blitzer with some extra bits. And that's it for now. And obviously they'll keep rotating this. So this is the new season. I shall start an Amazon run. I will, full disclosure now, I'm not very good with Amazons yet because I very rarely played them in any edition of the game. I've played against them quite a few times with mixed fortune, so I've not got a bad record against them. But I don't know if I'd be any good at doing them myself. And this will be the first time I'm playing a team that I really haven't played a lot. So I won't be doing any guide videos, that's for sure, because it'd be very tongue-in-cheek for me to suggest I know the best things to do with Amazons. But you know what? That should offer a bit of an insight to other players who haven't played them. You can live vicariously through my mistakes until you guys decide to pick this up and have a go with the Amazons yourselves. Or if you struggle, you might enjoy my struggles as well, and we can all struggle together. And of course, if you're amazing, you can then just laugh at my woeful inability to play as Amazons. And one other thing, I've got my Fumble game coming up soon that I played last week and I haven't uploaded yet, but that was also against New Amazons, and it was against Joseph, who is the current Bonehead Podcast Fumble League champion, and he knocked me out last year in the quarterfinals with a Skaven team, and he's running Amazons this time. So if you're interested to see how Amazons perform in a more competitive environment, when I say more competitive, it's a league environment, so it's just a bit different, then be sure to check that out. That'll be going up soon. Right, I'm going to head off now and hopefully get a game of these New Amazons a bit later on, and that should pop up in the next few days. Thank you very much for watching. Please remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel, as that would really help me out, and I'll see you all guys on the next video. Bye for now.